another session of NIEC's Naptime webinar. We are so happy and thankful that you are able to join us this afternoon, and I promise that you won't regret it because today's topic is a very interesting one. Today, we will be touching on what it means to build meaningful connections in the classroom and how to go about doing it. Although we would love to see you all face to face, we need to stay safe and keep each other safe as well, am I right? However, not to worry, there are still many ways in which we can connect using the panel of buttons you see at the bottom of the screen. First up, you can share your thoughts with us via the chat box anytime during the session. All right, teachers, how about we warm up our fingers and try flooding the chat box now? Tell us which center you are joining us from. So do remember to say hi as well, yeah? Let's get to know one another. All right, so I see that there are some teachers from my first school, Ichiban Montessori School, as well as NY World, eBridge, and wow, that's really a lot of you. You all have such fast fingers, I can't even read some of them. All right, and also we have Pet Schoolhouse as well. That's great, that's great. There's really so many of you all from different centers as well. I can't name them all, but a big welcome to everyone. Now, another way we can connect is through the Q&A function. If you have any questions about the topics we will be discussing today, do bring them up at any time during the session. Feel free to post all the questions you have in the Q&A box, and we will try our best to address them during the panel Q&A later. Last but not least, we are going to make this session even more interesting. Our lecturers will be asking you some questions, and there might even be polls as well. We would love to have you participate in them by raising your hands or voting so that we can get to know you better. I hope that after that simple exercise, you guys are excited. To get you all pumped up even more, let's find out what we have in store for you today. First up, we have the Director of NIEC, Mrs. Loh, who will be opening this event with her welcome address. Hello, Mrs. Loh.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. After the session by our speakers, we also have two of our NIEC's lecturers, Miss Marie and Miss Jean, who will be sharing their EC knowledge and experiences with you. Hello, Miss Marie and Miss Jean.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
All right, so after the sharing by our speakers, there will also be a panel Q&A. So do remember that you can post your questions, big or small, in the Q&A box at any time during the session, and they will be addressed by our speakers later. Finally, just a gentle reminder to pay very close attention to the nuggets of wisdom our speakers will be giving later. Why? Because we will be ending today's session with a quiz, and guess what? There will be prizes to be won. Now, I believe Miss Marie and Miss Jean are ready to share all the exciting tips they have with you, and I'm pretty sure you all can't wait to hear them, right? But I will have to bring them back later because it's time for Mrs. Loh to shine. So we will see you both in a little while, yeah? Bye.
Thank you, Desiree. A very good afternoon, everyone. A very, very warm welcome to NIEC's first Naptime webinar of 2021. We are indeed very heartened by the warm reception to our Naptime webinar series first launched last year. You have shared with us that you find them engaging, contained practical tips for immediate use, promoted reflective practice, as well as affirmed and supported what you are doing. NIEC will strive to uphold this approach in the way we deliver our practice-oriented talks anchored in our very own context. So great to be here again, to be connected with the EC fraternity. This is our very own space for collective professional reflection and learning without you leaving your workplace. I hope you are keeping well, even as we all work under the COVID-19 context, finding a footing in the new ways of doing, being caring and professional each step of the way. I salute your courage, your concern, your caring and commitment to the children and their parents. NIEC stands with you always. Today, Our focus is on building meaningful connections in the classroom, bringing about positive child-teacher relationships in the way you thoughtfully and purposefully engage and interact with your children. My faculty, Marie, will first share the whys and hows on the 3 Rs during caregiving routines for social-emotional development. Following that, Jean will share the whys and hows of using music to form connections with children and facilitate their learning. This ongoing pandemic has certainly presented practitioners with new challenges. We hope that these sound practices and useful tips will help you better navigate our new normal. So keep away your handphones, stay away from other distractions. Let's learn and grow together. Over to you, Desiree.
Thank you, Mrs. Low, for the timely reminder during these challenging times. And yes, I agree that although we are devoted to the little ones, we must still remember to take some time for ourselves to refresh and relearn. And honestly, Mrs. Look's energy and Rara is getting me so excited for today's program, and I hope you feel the same as well. So without further ado, let's get things started with our first speaker, Miss Marie. Miss Marie is here to share how teachers like yourselves can be interactive during caregiving routines. Also, what does it mean and why is it important for educators to be respectful, reciprocal, and responsive when interacting with young children? I guess all of you would love to find out more about this, wouldn't you? Over to you, Miss Marie.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this segment of the webinar entitled Respectful, Reciprocal, Responsive 3R Interactions During Caregiving Routines. These are the 3 magic R's that we need to know and that we need to use in our interactions with young children. Okay, why are 3R interactions important? Next, caregiving routines allow us to get to know the children better and their family, as the children love to share stories beyond the classroom setting, like what happened at home, where they went over the weekend, or whether or not they have adopted a new pet. So this in turn helps build and strengthen teacher-child or children-to-children relationships. Of all that brain science has taught us, one of the clearest findings is that early brain development is directly influenced by caregivers' day-to-day interactions with children. And these positive interactions stimulate the brain, motivating the child to relate to those who care for them with confidence and ease, thereby developing or enhancing learning and development. And one of the findings in Singapore's largest and most comprehensive longitudinal study conducted by KKH, NUHS, and MOH, entitled Growing Up in Singapore Towards Healthy Outcomes, in short, GUSTO, G-U-S-T-O, which started in 2008, revealed a strong correlation between caregiving and child's brain development. The study is participated by over 1,200 mothers and children, and interestingly, the research found that children with responsive caregivers have bigger hippocampus as compared to those children with less responsive or unresponsive caregivers. Hippocampus is actually the region of the brain that is associated primarily with memory. The bigger the hippocampus, the better the ability of the child to explore the environment and learn. Next slide. The Early Years Development Framework Educarer's Guide 2017 stresses that promoting respectful adult-child interaction is the basic foundation for a healthy relationship with children. And these loving relationships and interactions are important for the children's healthy development, may it be cognitive, social, or emotional. Now, we do carry out many caregiving routines daily. Let's have a poll. Among these caregiving routines that we carry out, which do you think is the most important routine? Okay, you can have nap time or meal time, hand washing, dressing. Please send in your vote by clicking your answer. All right, can we have the result? Okay, you can see many of you. Yes, many of you think, almost all of you, 95% think that all these routines are important. That's right. Thank you for your participation. Yes, no routine is more or less important than the other. All of these are important and they all provide us with opportunities to create 3R interactions with the children. Next, caregiving routines in a new normal. In these trying times, we applaud all of you for being so resilient and open in adapting to the new guidelines in caregiving practices. The changes in routine procedures must be crazy for all of you. Doing routine in smaller group sizes, preparing a safe learning environment for our young children. Well, some of you even made table shields for children to eat or play safely. Well, thanks to all your efforts in making the early childhood community safe. And as we navigate these challenging times, we need to continue to have an open mind in adapting to even further changes. And we also need to manage our time wisely, as we may take slightly longer time in some routines like hand washing, as we need to reiterate the steps and making sure the children follow, right? And now we also need to wear face shield or mask in the center. So if you wear a mask, always maintain eye contact with the child during caregiving. Show your smile through your eyes. Of course, don't underestimate the use of gestures and words, as you might just miss, some of these cues. So please be sensitive as well with the children's gestures and cues, as you might just miss some of these because they're also wearing a mask, right? And even the cues of smell, you see, that we sometimes wish to ignore as educators. Well, a friend shared this with me this morning, that the number one thing preschool teachers wished was an April Fool's prank, but usually isn't. When a child says, teacher, I pooped in my pants, right? But okay, next slide. Today, we are going to learn simple tips and 3R strategies to remember and follow during caregiving routines. These are not really rocket science strategies, but perhaps a good time for us to refresh the concepts learned in our diploma days. Okay, next, as educators, we serve. So these are the 5 steps that we will learn today, 5 strategies. First, S, steps, name them. E, encourage autonomy. R, respond to child's cues. V, validate the child's efforts. E, enjoy the process. Now let's look at the first strategy. Steps, name them. We describe and explain what we are doing. We tell a story of what is going to happen. Now, who among you here has gone for a facial session? Raise your virtual hand. All right, let me see. Okay, well, many of you ladies have gone for a facial. So when we are in our facial session, we lie down on the bed, we feel secure when the therapist tells us, I will clean your face first, okay? I will apply cream now, and it is a bit cold, and so on. So it helps us feel respected and assured to know what she's doing to our face. Children should be treated similarly. There shouldn't be any surprise. We demonstrate respectful interactions by letting the child know the procedures of what we are doing. Most importantly, seek the child's consent and cooperation, especially if we are touching his or her body. Okay, this doesn't only provide a rich exposure to the language, it also enhances the sense of security. You respect me by telling me what you are doing to my body, hence I trust you. Okay, for example, during diaper change, we say, next please, I'm going to change your diaper so you will feel dry and comfortable. Are you ready? All right, now let me help you. Let's fasten your diaper, put on a new one. Okay, fasten it. There it goes. Is it a nice fit? So that's an example of first strategy, steps, name them. Okay, let's go to the second strategy. Encourage autonomy. When we do caregiving routines, we respect the children's capability and involve them in the tasks. We teach the steps at a start and continue to guide and support until the child can perform independently or with minimal assistance. So once the child demonstrates autonomy, he feels good about himself, which enhances his self-esteem. So example, next, during dismissal, we can use these encouraging words, like for example, as he puts on his shoes. I know you can do it. All right, you push in the strap. Okay, pull it through the loop. There you go, well done. Okay, so these are some of the examples, and this is also good for us to offer the children one task or activity at a time so that they can focus better and master the skill one at a time, especially for the younger ones. We can also offer them choices, just like the example you have there. And with that, we empower the children to make choices or decisions early in life. We let the children know that we are there to support them when they face the challenges, and we must also know when to let go. Okay, so that's the second strategy, encourage autonomy. Now let's go to the third strategy, respond to child's cues. Who among you plays badminton here? Raise your virtual hand again. Okay, let me see. Okay, I can see that some play badminton. I think you are familiar with how badminton is played. One player does a serve, the other player on the opposite side returns the serve. It is similar in our interactions with young children. The child serves by reaching out for interaction. A respectful and responsive educator will return or reciprocate the serve through gestures, use of respectful words, eye contact. So even if you're wearing a mask, let the child see that beautiful smile. And this is called serve and return. So example, when he looks at his shirt, let's go to the next slide. When he looks at his shirt, for example, that is a serve. So we share the serve by looking at his shirt and giving it a name. We also return the serve by saying, this is your shirt. Oh, what color is your shirt? And so we pause and wait for the child to respond. Oh, yes, it is blue. It's a nice blue shirt. Do you like it? But we also notice, and we also have to practice endings and beginnings. Okay, so notice when a child wants to end and start a new conversation, just like the example you have there. And so these back and forth 3R interactions highlight the third strategy, responding to child's cues. Now let's look at the fourth strategy. Validate the child's efforts. Praise the process and the effort, and not just the result, as it is more important to help children feel good about their efforts and not just the outcome. Okay, so we be responsive to all these efforts and be specific when affirming them. Okay, let's look at the example in the next slide that says, okay, good job. I like the way you're holding your spoon and your bowl. Okay, so now let's have an activity. Let's go to the next slide. I want you to think of a specific way to validate a child during any of your caregiving interactions. Now you write your answers in the chat box. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. And let me read a bit of maybe one example. Okay, so let's think of a way or how we validate the child during caregiving routine. I can see you typing, but I'm still waiting for. I like to hear so singing loudly. Yes, we'll be getting the slides after. Okay, I like the way you help to keep your toys. Yes, that's right. That is really specific. Now keep sending in your examples. Okay, and I will continue on the next slide. Okay, enjoy the process. It is important for us to enjoy the process, and if we enjoy the process ourselves, so will the children. It becomes a joyful activity and not a chore. However, we need to manage our time wisely so we can facilitate the routines in a gentle, relaxed, and unhurried manner. So we can also create playful interactions during routines, like reciting a rhyme, doing rap, or singing to the children about the routine that you are doing. All right, let's go to the next slide. Let's try this as an example. One of the ways specified by WHO to combat COVID-19 is hand washing. So let's have a fun way of reminding children of the hand washing steps. Now give me a steady beat, 2 taps, 1 clap. Ready? Let's do it together. Come on, let's wash our hands. Let's follow the steps together. 1, palm to palm. 2, between fingers. 3, back of hands. 4, base of thumbs. 5, back of fingers. 6, fingernails. 7, rub the wrists. 8, rinse and wipe dry. And that should give you at least 20 seconds of hand washing as prescribed by the MOH. And you will have more examples of engaging children with music in the next talk by Ms. Jean. So please look out for that. So that was our 5th strategy, enjoy the process. And so next, to summarize the strategies we learned today, as educators, we serve. Steps, name them, encourage autonomy, respond to child's cues, validate the child's efforts, enjoy the process. Next, we serve because we care. As Theodore Roosevelt once said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay, let's have the next slide. So 10 or 20 years down the road, our children may not remember how well we teach them digraphs or addition or number bonds, but they will always remember how much you care for them. But next, it is very important, however, the initial step in caring for children is to really exercise self-care. Staying healthy in mind and body is essential, especially in these very challenging times. Next. So ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself so you can better take care of the children. And we should also remember to validate ourselves as educators. As you wake up in the morning, please face the mirror and say this to yourself every day. I am beautiful. I am the best teacher, and today is my day. If you feel good about yourself, it will be a breeze to use 3 R's in your interactions with the children and with all those around you. With that, thank you. I will now hand over the time back to Desiree.
Thank you, Ms. Marie, for reminding that although all of us had to change the way in which we interact with the children due to the new normal, any type of interaction with them is still an opportunity for us to practice the 3 R's and to let them know how much we care for them. Ms. Marie, how about you take a rest now, and we will see you in a while for the panel Q&A. Thank you. Now, if you have any other questions for Ms. Marie, do remember to put them in the Q&A box. Also, it looks like we have a lot of participants today, our best response yet. I understand that some of your colleagues are not able to join us today. Not to worry, we will find a way to share the session with them, with those who have registered, and we will be providing a handout at the end as well. In the meantime, if you have colleagues who aren't logged in, do share your screen with them. Apart from using the 3 R's, we can also use music to engage the children in the classroom. Music is a universal way to connect with one another, and who better to tell you more about this than our lecturer, Ms. Jean. Ms. Jean, how about you take us on a magical musical journey?
Thank you very much, Desiree. Hello, everyone. I see some familiar faces there. Okay, thank you for tuning in while your little ones are taking a nap. My name is Jean, and I'll be here to share this topic that's really close to my heart, and probably everyone's too, and that's music. Music is something that we grow up listening to, and do you agree? It grows along with us. I'll also like to thank Miss Marie for sharing about the 3 R's of building meaningful relationship with the children. Connecting to what she has presented, I'd like to share how we can use music in the classroom, some tips of including music in your classroom, and how we can teach music in this new world. So without further ado, let's begin. These are the three areas that I hope to touch on today. The first part is how you can use music effectively to building meaningful relationship with your children. In the second part of today's session, I'd like to share some tools that you can use to encourage a musical classroom. And we'll end off today's session on how to teach music in this new world. Oh, and by the way, can you see two pictures at the bottom right-hand corner of this slide? Though I can't see you, but I hope to hear from you and I hope for you to interact with your colleagues around you. So when you see the phone picture at the slide, it's time to whip out your phone and engage with me. And if you see the happy speech bubbles, it's time to interact with your colleagues. Let's zoom into our first section on using music in the classroom to form connections and meaningful relationship with our children. We'll start off by building our very own word cloud. So I'd like to engage you by getting you to contribute to this question. When can we include music in the classroom? So you can take out your phone right now. I'm going to give you about 2 to 3 minutes to do so. Okay, get your phone. There is a QR code on screen. Okay, you can scan it and then you type in your answer. Now we'll give each other some time to do that. If your colleague is actually right beside you, you can also ask a colleague to share the answer and you can actually help your colleague to type in as well. I'll give you some time to do that. I see some response on chat as well. Somebody mentioned, when the children are restless, you can include music. That's right. Okay, I think some of you can't go in. Okay, some share about any time, some share that circle time. Thank you for typing in the chat, although you can't get into Vvox. I think let's try and generate Vvox and see what everyone has mentioned. Yes, lesson time, nap time, that's right. Morning time, circle time. Yes, it's actually any time. Thank you very much for your participation, everyone. Basically, all of you are right. We can include music in almost any part of the day in the classroom. In fact, music can be a form of classroom management and can also help to regulate children's day in the classroom. While we use music in class, it is important for teachers to understand and start on the right footing to create a conducive music classroom. When I meet many of my full-time and also part-time early childhood students, many share with me that they're either shy or they find that they're not competent to teach music to young children because they think that they're not musically trained. But I have some good news for you and I have some facts to share with you. Number one, actually, all of us are musicians in our own way. We all have a natural beat and rhythm in our body. Number two, music actually ignites all aspects of children's development. For example, children actually pick up language through singing and also numeracy through many of the counting and numeracy songs. Number three, our dear children actually do not judge your voice. In fact, our children love interacting and hearing your beautiful voice. Last but not least, most importantly, music in the classroom should help you and calm your children. Let your hair down and enjoy the music and movement session together. We can actually enjoy a music session using this music energy curve in the music classroom. This curve helps us to engage children and also help to connect and build their energy before, during, and after the music class. Let's imagine this to be a music class that you are conducting. We begin by sitting with a warm-up song where children are sitting down. Next, while the children are sitting down, we can make use of the upper torso and integrate some music and movement into this part. Now, we are at the peak of the music and movement classroom. While we get children to stand up and get them into some action, this is the time you can work out the full body with the music that you have selected for them. After bringing the children's energy up, remember to also pace it and also bring it down, and let's go for a sit-down action song. We end off the music session with a calming, cool-down, resting song. Now, by following this energy curve, you can help to regulate children as they transit from one class to the next. I'd now like to share a very simple song that you can use with your children during the segment of Hello Song. Now, in fact, this song can be used right at the start of any class and not restricted to just music class. By the way, do you see the happy speech bubbles? It's time to interact with your colleagues. So pull along a colleague that's right beside you. Okay, sit face to one another. And then I'd like you to decide who is the teacher or who is the child. Okay, if you have no colleague sitting beside you, quick, go grab one. right? I can't see you, but I hope you're doing that. Okay, so this is a call and response song. I will demonstrate it once for you, and once you get the tune, let's sing along. It is a very simple song that I've created and piggyback onto the tune of Skip to My Lou. And I'm sure in your music module training, you would remember this term, piggyback song. Are you ready? Okay, so the teacher will go first, all right? So here we go. Hello, children, how are you? Hello, children, how are you? Hello, children, how are you? How are you today? Children, it's your turn now. I am great. I feel happy. I am great. I feel happy. I am great. I feel happy. Let's get started right now. Give your colleague a high five. I hope you're feeling great, just as I am. I have more songs that I've created and will share with you at the end of today's session. We have completed the very first segment, and that is starting with the right mindset and also using the music energy curve. Let's move on to the next segment where I'll share some tools that you can use in the music classroom. Preschool teachers actually read picture books to children almost every day, and this is part and parcel of the early childhood classroom. Do you know you can actually infuse music into almost any books? First, let me share with you what is the difference between story reading and storytelling. Basically, a story reader reads off the sentences of the book, while a storyteller may use his body or even his voice as a form of expression. Research has shown that storytelling helps children to retain the storyline better. Today, I'm going to share about storytelling, but in a musical way. So this is a picture book that's written by a local writer, Evelyn Sue Wong, and illustrated by Danandra Pojono. And let me share an excerpt of the book with you. This book titled, Just a Little Miner. Since the day Little Miner peeked out of a shelf, she loved to talk. She soon spoke many languages and had many friends in the park. Little Miner was always the first to wake up. Good morning, Chao-an, Kalevanakem, Selamat pagi. Good morning, everyone. Chao-an, Xiaobaka. How do I look, Little Miner? Magnificent, replied Little Miner. So in this book that I've shared, you can explore infusing music in the book, and not only that, you can explore different languages with our children. By singing this verse, it will help children to retain these new words that they have learned. The next book that I'd like to share is a classic in our preschool sector, the book titled We're Going on a Bear Hunt. With this book, you can make use of musical instruments that you can find in the classroom to get children to guess where they're heading to. I'm going to demonstrate here for you, and I'll include a sound effect of an instrument, and I'd like you to guess what instrument I'm using. Are you ready? We're going on the bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Grass, long, wavy grass. We can't go over it, and we can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Can you guess what instrument that is? Let's see. Okay, some say shaker, maracas, shaker. Very close. It's actually a percussion instrument as well. Okay, do you know what is this? This is a kabasa, right? Yes, that's right, kabasa. Yes, Melissa, that's right. Okay, so this is a kabasa. So you can actually replace words with sound effects using instruments, and that can actually help children to imagine as well. Now, other than reading a storybook, next slide, please. Another way to build a musical classroom is to have different appropriate music playlists to be used in the classroom. I use a lot of music in my classroom. I use it during small group, large group, start and end of the day. And I love singing and marching along with my children as we transit from one activity to the next. These two avenues are places where you can find beautiful genre of music for preschool children. Spotify has very nice radio channels that's specially for children, while Pinterest, one of our favorite preschool teachers, Han, also have ready resources on preschool music for children. Now, I didn't include here, but YouTube. Some of you may be asking me about YouTube. YouTube is actually a very rich resource with numerous preschool resources. Now, however, if you're looking at using purely music in the classroom, do remember to turn off your visualizer or have the visual hidden away from the children, because I think that could be one of a distraction. The other thing to look out for when using YouTube is the number of advertisements that are within each video. I've attached this in the handout, which I'll be sharing at the end of the session. We have come to the end of the second segment, and just to recap, you can infuse music during storytelling and also build a music playlist suitable to be used in your classroom. We've come to the last segment to round up today's session, and this is very relevant for us, teaching music in this new world. Next slide. Thank you. Believe it or not, we have arrived at a new world. And this is a new world that requires everyone to put on our masks to stay safe. It is tough as a teacher to do so, but trust me, I'm sure your children appreciate every bit of effort that you're doing your best for them. But how can we teach in a different way in this new world? I have some simple suggestions for you, and you may want to try it out. There are altogether 3 tips that I would like to share with you to end of today's session. Now, the mask actually covers a very critical part of our face, and that's our facial expression. How do children tell whether we are happy, sad, or angry? I'm sure the pandemic has taught us to speak with our eyes, but another way to do this is to sing our emotion. I'm going to give you an example. Now, when you are in front of the class and you're waiting for the children to get ready, now rather than doing that, you may want to sing very gently, and I'm going to do a demonstration for you, and I'm going to sing to the tune of If You're Happy and You Know It. So you can gently tap your lap, okay? So it goes like this. If you're ready and you know it, pat your lap. If you're ready and you know it, pat your lap. If you're ready and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're ready and you know it, pat your lap. So once all the children are patting their laps in sync, you know that the children are ready. You can also use various emoticons to express your emotions to children. I've prepared some ready-made emoticons for your usage in class, so check them out in the handout later. This brings about the next point where we use non-verbal body and hand gesture. Naturally, most of our preschool teachers are very expressive, but as we live in this new world where children may not see our expression as well as before, use your non-verbal body and hand gesture to help you achieve the same effect as before. Exaggerate your action and also express yourself. For example, when you ask children to give me your listening ears, you can actually do this. Or you want a bigger action, you can actually do this. And you can actually tell children, once you see me doing that, follow after me. Okay, so you can use your hand gesture there. Last but not least, I actually want to salute all our preschool teachers for stepping out of your comfort zone during the circuit breaker last year to create online classes for children. And I know sometimes involving families as well. In the past, there's always the debate of using technology in the classroom. I guess we have crossed into the next milestone that technology is crucial in the classroom. However, please allow me to stress upon this, technology cannot overtake you as a teacher, okay? But it is in the teacher that technology comes alive. I've specially selected some apps that you can use to facilitate music learning in the classroom. Mazen, that you can see on screen here, is a very suitable app that you can use with your children. It teaches about elements of music that's in line with the NEL framework. You can also find other apps in the handout given at the end of today's session. We have actually come to the end of my sharing for this Naptime webinar. And to sum up, there are altogether 3 segments that I've shared with you today. First is starting music with the right mindset for teachers and use music energy curve to guide our teaching of music in the classroom. Second, you can infuse music and instruments into storytelling and to build an appropriate music playlist for the classroom. Last but not least, to teach music in this new world, you can sing our emotions, we can have larger non-verbal and hand gesture, and lastly, to explore various tech tools that will help you enhance your teaching in the classroom. Okay, we have come to the end of my session. I've enjoyed myself and I hope you did too. I hope to see you around and thank you for nurturing our children. Please let me hand the time back to Desiree.
Thank you, Ms. Jean. I must say, you have a really, really beautiful voice.
I think all the teachers here have it too.
Yes, I think so too. But if only I can sing as well as you though. But I guess as what you have said, it's not about whether you have a beautiful voice, but it's actually all about the right mindset. You just need to remember that everyone is a musician in your own way, so don't be shy or afraid to use music in your classroom. I believe that the children will appreciate you including music, singing, and dancing in your interactions with them anytime, any day. Once again, thank you, Miss Jean, for sharing.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Desiree.
So I've learned a lot from Miss Marie and Miss Jean today, and I hope you have too. If you didn't manage to record any notes, no fret. Go ahead and scan this QR code to download the handouts from today. I'm pretty sure you'll find them very useful. You can even whip this out before your lessons to remind you of the tips given today, and then apply them throughout your lessons or at any time during your engagement with the children. I will keep this up just for a little while more so that all of you can get a copy. Feel free to share this handout with all your colleagues as well. All right, so it's time for the most interesting part of the session, the Q&A. So let's invite our speakers back up on screen again. Welcome, Mrs. Loke, Miss Marie, and Miss Jean.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back. So we do have 2 questions today. So maybe the first one would actually be for Miss Marie. So Miss Marie, they would actually like to find out what your favorite routine is.
All right, all the caregiving routines allow us to create meaningful interactions with the children, but my favorite is dressing because it provides me with varied opportunities to not only interact with a child, but also to integrate different learning areas. Like, for example, motor development, right? As they move their arms, their legs, we are able to teach them space and body awareness. We are also looking at numeracy when we are looking at some of the prints in their shirt or in their pants, for example, right? Like looking at the colors, the shapes, the numbers, counting those flowers, for example, stars or whatever characters that they have on their shirt. And most importantly, language. We can introduce the different parts of the body. We can sing a song as we are doing this dressing up, and then we can tell a story of what the steps are, which allow them to enhance their language development as well. Yes, that's all, Desiree. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Marie. That was really, really valuable advice and also a great reminder for us all. So next up, we actually have a question for Miss Jean as well. Miss Jean, can you please recommend some action songs or playlists on Spotify for toddlers?
Okay, so there are actually a lot of resources out there in Spotify. So you can actually go into Spotify, and then there's one playlist I really like to recommend. That's called Ruffy Radio. You can find that in your handout as well. Ruffy Radio gives you a very holistic list of children's songs and very good language that's being used in all this music.
So maybe after this session, I would even go and try to find that playlist and listen to it as well. So Miss Jean, we do have one more question for you. So what would be your top 3 go-to children's songs, including calm down songs as well?
Usually when I look for children's song, I don't specifically look for one singer. I actually look for an array of singers because they actually fit to different parts of the day, different parts of the routine that you're going into. So you might want to actually go do a search, right? And actually go into different music lists. And for example, Naptime will require really different kind of music momentum into the playlist because that would be a soft music. I know some of the teachers actually play, for example, instrumental music, like for example, Mozart, for example. Yeah, so different momentum, or at the start of the day, you might really want to energize the children with a faster speed song, right? Faster pace that actually can enhance the energy in your classroom.
So are you able to also repeat what you have shared about using YouTube with the students as well?
Okay. All right. So YouTube, like I shared earlier, it's really a lot of resources there for children. But however, I think there are some things to note. If you're going to purely use music in the classroom, YouTube has that visual component to it. So what you want to do is to either turn your laptop away from the children and actually, really let the children hear the music only. But one thing to note, there are quite a number of advertisements. And if I'm not wrong, every video actually have about 2 to 3 advertisements. So that might also cut that music piece that you're going to play for them. So that's something that you want to really look out for.
All right. So I think after this session, the teachers would actually be going to YouTube, going to Spotify to go and, look up at this kind of playlist, and maybe they'll play for their children as well.
Yes, such a way.
Thank you, Miss Jean. All right, so,
Desiree, if I may add,
sure.
Yes, yeah, I was just reflecting on what Jean, you and Marie had shared, and actually I just want to pick up the point about music. Jean, I could see the passion in you as you did your sharing. And I think it is also a timely reminder that as educators, we should have a repertoire of music. And on top of that is to be able to observe the situation. Like you said, actually you can use music in any part of the day for the children. And actually this allows us to also, in a way, regulate the children's emotion, also enable the tempo to go faster if you need to kind of like enable the children to expand their energy or to even calm them down. So I thought music in the repertoire of an easy educator really enables us to do quite a lot of children in nurturing self-regulation and also in actually enhancing their learning environment as well. Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
thank
totally
you, Jean.
agree.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And Maria was just reflecting on what you said about the 3 R's. I thought to me the essence of it is actually our professionals, the practitioners, observational skills, right? In order to do the 3 R's, it's really about paying attention. It's about being there for the moment and being able to have that joint focus on what the child is expressing, what the child is interested in, and then have joy in engaging and interacting with each other. Really, I thought that was something that came through for me. Yeah, so maybe in my sharing, you may want to share some thoughts stemming from what I said as well.
Yeah, just to add in, Mrs. Loke, yes, in fact, what you highlighted is on the third one is really responding to the child's cues, the serve and return, being able to observe the child's cues and being able to respond. There's a question actually, how do we remind each other as colleagues to demonstrate these 3 R's? We actually prepared the notes for you. I think it will be good to, in order for us to be reminded of all these 3 R strategies, it will be good for you to probably print that out, and perhaps you can put it on the wall in your classroom so that when you open perhaps your cupboard or yeah, at least you will be reminded to, even no matter how tired you are, sometimes if we are not so well, we probably have a lot of stress at work as well. We may not be able to really respond appropriately and respectfully to the children, right? If you are so stressed, then you're like so tired. So you have these kind of, but if you are always reminded because you see that, so you take a deep breath and try to like refocus and always remind yourself that I am with the children, and whatever that I do will serve as a model and as a guide to how the children would also respond to others as well. And there are teachers who actually say, oh, but we don't have the time. We are always rushing, don't have the time for 3 R's because you just want to clear, they just want to finish the routines. But and some teachers can be saying, everybody is not following the timetable, so why do I have to do it on my own, like that. But please, ladies and gentlemen, you are not everybody. You are special. You are a cut above. The fact that you are here, you are extraordinary. You want to learn, and we really do hope that you will take this with you and try to really internalize it so that we will have that better interaction. Remember the hippocampus, the effect of your responsive interaction with the children. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Yeah. So Marie, I'd like to add to that. I think it's so lovely to say that how do we look out for each other as practitioners and professionals on the ground. So it's all about really reminding each other as well about the 3 Rs so that we kind of support and know that in the busyness of the day, actually at the heart of it is really the children, and we may be distracted. So it's maybe just a little tap on the shoulder for each other, will help us to center and say, yes, right, it is about the children I'm nurturing right now. Maybe I just have to focus. And thank you for that tip, Marie. Really useful. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mrs. Low.
So thank you so much, Miss Jean and Miss Marie. That was really inspiring, and those tips were really useful. So, Mrs. Low, may I please invite you to sum up the whole session and also what Miss Marie and Miss Jean has said?
Yes. So thank you once again to my faculty. I've learned a lot from them during this session as well. So as we all strive to build meaningful connections in the classroom, I think for me, and I think the takeaway is really always remember that we must ourselves experience joy and enjoy the process along with the children. Such positivity is uplifting and will go a long way to enhance the children's joy of learning. Hence, Marie's reminder of self-care, we care together, self-belief, and self-confidence is timely as you practice the 3 Rs. And children will certainly enjoy being with you when you create a joyful classroom. So in Jean's sharing, it is about music. And I hope by experiencing joy of music yourself, your impact on children will be even more significant, creating positive memories that enhance their learning. So now it leaves me to thank you, all of you, on behalf of NIEC and our presenters for being here today. May you go away with new ideas and renewed energy to engage the children when they awake from their nap time. So take care, keep well, and have a good rest of the day ahead. Yeah, over to you, Desiree.
Thank you, Mrs. Logue and lecturers, for the insightful sharing today. I'm definitely walking away with a new point of view about caregiving routines and using music to engage children. Now we've come to the part of the program where we ask you questions. It's time for the quiz. I hope you have been paying attention to our speakers, and if you did, 10 of you will be rewarded with a $20 GrabFood voucher each. So, okay, let me explain what the rules are. First, make sure that you have your phones in your hands and your fingers are warmed up because fastest fingers will win. We will be using Kahoot, which I believe many of you are familiar with, and there will be 5 questions in total. So all you need to do during each round is to choose the answer you believe is correct. However, before you start the 5 questions, we will need you to fill in your email address and make sure it's correct so that we can contact you if you're a lucky winner. Now, in order to get into the game, you will need to scan the QR code in the next slide and enter the game pin you see on screen. All right, so start scanning, everyone. If you're unable to scan the QR code, not to worry. You can always join the game by going to your phone web browser and typing in www.kahoot.it. So thereafter, you input the game pin at the top right-hand corner above the QR code. All right, so it looks like a lot of you are already in the game. Let's just wait for a while more. Hey, wow, okay. So we do have around 250 participants now, and more are joining. So are you guys ready? Are your hearts pumping? Okay, just a little while more. All right. So, do you want me to start now? Oh, the music is making me more excited. All right, so now we'll be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. First question, so easy one to give you some practice. So all you need to do is type in your email address so that we can contact you if you are one of the lucky winners. So do ensure that your email address is correct so that you will be able to receive our email and your breadfruit voucher if you are a winner. Okay, so we'll give you some more time. Make sure that your email address is correct, yeah? Right, if you're unable to type in your email address, maybe you can type in your name as well. All right, thank you so much. So now that the practice is over, let's start with the real questions. First one, so which of the following is a good example of validating the child? And although the answers are pretty similar, one stands out more. So I think that's quite a big hint, yeah? Wow, all right. So a lot of you have actually chosen the correct answer. And it looks like Ruth is leading. Congratulations, Ruth. And then we have Ing. I wonder who is Potato. And also 1, 2, 3. I'm not too sure who is that as well. All right. So next question. The following will help foster the child's autonomy except for one. So let me help you along, yeah? So this question is related to the SURF acronym. It has something to do with the E in SURF. The answers are coming in fast and furious. All right, a lot of you has also chosen leaving the child alone without the educator support. That's great. So let's see whether Ruth has actually, okay, now W has taken the lead. And then we also have Myra and Liz as well. Okay, let's hope you keep this position, yeah? All right, so third question will be, what can help a teacher introduce music successfully in the classroom? Do you remember which lecturer was singing just now? And what did she remind us? It is not about the voice, but the mindset. Nice. Around 347 of you actually chose the correct answer. And let's see. Oh, Myra took the lead. Congratulations. All right. So this would be the second last question. What can a teacher play when can a teacher play music in the classroom? So for those that are in the top 5, I wonder if you'll be holding on to your places or will other people catch up? We will have to see, yeah? 3, 2, 1. Wow, okay, so that's right. It's any time of the day. Oh, Myra, nice. You kept your lead. And also I see a few of you, you are actually the top few every single round. So congratulations. Okay, so now we've come to the final question, everyone. A child gestures at some apple slices and you say, would you like some? This is an example of time to put Miss Marie's surf strategies to practice. And last 2 seconds. Thank you so much all. Okay, so let's see who are the winners. We have Ing at 3rd place. And then Amanda at 2nd. And then the winner would be Myra. Congratulations. Thank you so much all for participating, and congratulations to all winners. You will be hearing from us via email for your prize, so do look out for it. I hope you have had as much fun as I did just now, and that this gave you the energy to jump right back into work. Not only that, we hope that this was an enjoyable and useful session for all of you, and that you'll be able to put what you've learned from the sharing today to practice every day. There will be a survey that will be popping up at the end of the session, and we would love for you to give your feedback. Let us know what other topics you'd like to hear from us or are interested in as well. And with that, we have come to the end of today's program. I would like to take this chance to thank the beautiful ladies who have made this session such an informational and inspirational one. Mrs. Loh, Miss Marie, Miss Jean, we would love to have you back now to bid farewell to everyone. All right, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. But before you go, I would like to let you in on a little secret. We have something very exciting lined up for June. It won't be just a sharing of topics by our lecturers, but we hope to bring all of you together to catch up and network with each other. More details will be available soon. You should also follow us on our social media for even more tips for educators, relatable memes, and of course, the occasional cute kid or two. Also, we will be sharing the link to the registrants for the whole entire session as well. So don't worry if any of your colleagues actually missed out on this session. They will be able to do, look through the session at their own time. So not to worry. All right. So until next time, see you.